So today we are talking about path through impact, but we're not talking about the path of the club head, we're talking about the path of the grip and showing you how this movement can very often be completely different to this movement and how that can help your golf game. So welcome back to the Forest of Arden, where in this video we're talking about path through impact, but we're not necessarily talking about the path of the club head. But before we get into that, if you are watching one of my videos for the first time, I would love you to become a subscriber. It is absolutely free and there is content being uploaded each and every week. There is a link in the description box down below, but if you'd rather wait, there's a link at the end of the video over on the right hand side of your screen which you can click to be a subscriber. So we're talking about path, but we're talking about the path of your hands, or if you want to think of it in a different way, the path of the grip of the club. Now, when we talk about path through impact, most golfers would associate that with the club head, and being honest, most conversations we have about path are about the club head, but we're going to talk about it slightly differently, about the grip end of the club and how that can relate to the path of the club head. The big message here is the path that this is taking through impact will in most cases be very, very different to the direction that the club head is traveling in. What do we mean by that? Well, let's take a example here. Let's place the club in this position. Now, let's move the golf club where the whole golf club is traveling on a path which is to the right of the target. So that would be a golf club moving in this direction here, where you can see how the grip, the club shaft, the club head are all moving out to the right hand side of this fairway. That will be a path which is to the right with all of the golf club. In the golf swing, that very, very rarely happens, although there are lots of golfers who are actually trying to do that. What we tend to see in the golf swing is that the grip end and the club head move in very, very different directions. A really simple little exercise to demonstrate that would be if I take my grip and just take my lead hand off, I'm just going to hold it in this position here. Now watch what happens when I take the butt end of the club and I move it upwards. The club head goes downwards, grip goes downwards, club head moves upwards. What about from this direction here? Well, again, the same thing is applying. If the grip moves towards me, the club head moves out. If the grip moves out, the club head moves in. So these two things, the grip and the club head, are very, very often, and in most cases they should, be moving in two very, very different directions. So what do we tend to see happening through impact of the best golfers, or most of the best golfers? I'm going to make this a little bit more exaggerated for the demonstration purposes of this video. We would tend to see, move my right hand to make it a little bit easier, a position here where the hands tend to be in this part of the downswing a little bit further from the body than they were at setup. The club head, you'll notice, is slightly behind my hands. What I can now do is I can actually move the grip to the left of the target as the club head is traveling more into the ball and tracing more up to the right hand side of the target. So you can see how the movement of the grip and the movement of the club head are opposing. They're completely different. Now, what would this enable me to do? Well, it generally enables us to create a little bit more speed. Now, who doesn't want more speed? Certainly speed in the club head is going to be useful for us. It's going to help us hit the ball further, advance it further down the hole, generally going to be hitting shorter irons in. Moving the grip and the club head in opposing directions is a great way to create that speed. So lots of golfers are trying to get the golf club to swing to the right of the target, but they're doing it by pushing the whole club out this way, or trying to do that. Unfortunately, this is not a great way to create speed. We can probably move the path out to the right, we can do that, but it's not a great way to create speed. Let's look at why. Where is my left shoulder moving through impact? Well, my left shoulder is moving around this way. So if my left shoulder is moving around to my left, and I'm trying to move my hands out to the right, again, that doesn't really make a lot of sense because they're opposing, they're going in opposite directions. So we want to allow the lead shoulder to move around to the left, feel the hands are moving around to the left, but that does not mean that that is where the club head is swinging. So let me hit a shot, and we're going to slow this one down so you can see exactly what I mean by the movement of my hands. I'm obviously hitting a driver here down this par 5. And I would take that all day long. A little bit up the right hand side, but that should leave me a mid to long iron into the green. So let's quickly go through a little exercise that you can do, which is going to help you appreciate how we need to do this. Let's take an alignment stick. Let's place it angled slightly out to the right of your target. And I want you to make some rehearsals where you match the golf club, take your trail hand off, and from there, trace the left hand left and the club head into the tee peg. And again, we're going to do that again. So match the club shaft, trace hand left, club head out. That is a great way to feel this opposing movements of the grip and the club head. It does not mean that your path is going to be left, although it may feel like you're exiting left. That's absolutely fine. Provided we get the delivery correct, it should enable you to create some more speed. It should enable you to match your arms and your body on the way through better, and it should help you hit more fairways with more distance, and who doesn't want to do that? So a little exercise. Trace the hands left, the club head will be moving right. Great way to hit draws from the tee and create a little bit more club head speed. Thank you very much for watching. As I said at the start of the video, there is a link in the description to be a subscriber, or click my logo over there. That will do exactly the same thing. More content coming each and every week, helping you play some better golf and enjoy your time on the course a little bit more. Thank you for watching. We'll see you back here again soon.